Hi, John Applethaler here, and I'm going to play some tunes for you, mainly to show what my right hand is doing. I had a few requests from people in the Hangout that wanted to see my right hand. Not that it's spectacular. I guess it's because I hold my right hand a little differently than maybe some other players do, and they're just curious, and I'm just going to demonstrate and explain how I do it and why I do it. But I'm not here to convince you that this is the right way, or that my hand is better than your hand or somebody else's. It's just to show you how I hold my right hand and the reason I do so, just for information. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. So anyway, I don't have great Hollywood effects. So I will have to manually adjust this camera, so give me a second here to do so. And hopefully now you can see the banjo in my right hand. And let me explain. So as you can see, what I'm showing right now, there's a shadow there, but I think maybe some of you may have seen players that, well, let's say like Earl Scruggs or photos or whatever of J.D. Crowe, and they may hold their hand something like this. You see I'm bending my right hand this way at the wrist and planting my fingers down, and then you get a hand that looks something like this. You have the thumb out here, then your index, and then your middle finger. Whoops. And you get a sound like that. Now for me to actually make this position, which is what I started off playing like, I have to scrunch my right shoulder up, bring my elbow up, and it makes my hand do that. So what I decided to do, and was mainly influenced by Alan Mundy, if you've ever seen him play, he has a different right hand position. I relax my shoulder, allow my elbow to come down, then I kind of squeeze it into the side here, and that allows my hand to almost be like an L, make an L with the banjo and stick out. And then all I do is bend my wrist and then plant my hand. So you can see there's an arch here, and it might be more pronounced than most players. You could probably put a small ball in there or something. And what does that accomplish? For me, it accomplishes allowing my thumb, index, and middle finger to line up fairly straight and perpendicular to my strings. So now I like to play, when I play bluegrass, I like to play fairly close to the bridge, not really close, but I have at least two fingers, my ring finger and my pinky. I plant the ring finger down, but I rest my pinky on the corner of the bridge. So I have those 2 finger width, if you will, and then my right hand fingers come down and attack the strings in that area. So they play the strings pretty much in the same area in front of the bridge, whereas the other way, you had your fingers possibly in 3 different areas along the strings in front of the bridge. And I'm sure you know from playing and lessons and whatever other means that you are learning and playing your banjo, as you move away from the bridge, you get a different tone. So for me, when I play this way, I really noticed my thumb was getting a different tone than, say, my index or my middle finger. And that was one of the things that Alan had said. I attended one of his workshops. I've seen him play many times. He wanted to get a more even tone. I liked that and thought, well, let me try it, because I was trying to get his sound, if you will. And of course, Alan Mundy is playing with Alan Mundy's hand, and Alan Mundy's banjo, so, but I liked what I got when I played my banjo with this position. Another thing you'll notice too about this position is that if I turn this way, my index and middle finger are fairly extended when they go to attack the strings, as opposed to, say, if I went back to the other way, where now my index and middle finger are bent more on the first and second knuckle of my index and middle finger of the right hand. When I played the way I do, I extend it out. And you can see how I do that. And that's mostly because I have this arch here. I could do this, but then I'd have to make my fingers bend more. I prefer the arch, so I extend my fingers. The reason I do that is I had a tendency in the beginning years of playing to be digging in what I thought was digging in too far when I picked. So my fingers would strike the string, but they would go really deep. Well, maybe not so deep, but they tended to strike more towards the hole of the pick and not the tip. My purpose now is I want to pick at the tip, still trying to maintain the center. Now these are old National picks that are flat, not like the Dunlops that are rounded. So I try to pick in the center and mostly with the tip of the pick, and in doing so I get the sound and the tone that I like. Another thing I have to do to compensate with the way I hold my hand now is I have to twist my picks on my fingers. You can see where I'm twisted them this way, so that when I put my hand down, the flat part of the pick will touch the string and not the corner or the edge. Okay, so I find I get a better tone and I don't dig into the strings. I was noticing that sometimes I would dig in too far to the strings, and that would just be a little, I would need a split second extra time to get my finger out, which then affected the timing of the song. So that was another reason why I switched to this other hand position. Again, this is just what works for me, and I'm just demonstrating it. I'm not trying to convince somebody that, this is the only way to go. So anyway, so I like that tone, and I liked what I hear. I like what I hear when I play my banjo with my hand in this position. And again, it was thanks to Alan Mundy and the way he holds his hand, and explained his reasoning, that I decided to adopt that method. And again, it's just how I like to play it. So let me play a few tunes so you can see the hand in action.